Okay, today I'll just give you some tips for newbie harmonica players, and these are things that I've come to learn that are important when you start out. The first one is buy a reasonable harmonica to start. Something like a Hohner Special 20 is ideal. It's not too expensive, but it's a good quality harmonica that is fairly airtight, fairly easy to bend, and it will serve you well. If you buy a cheap harmonica, then they'll be very leaky, they'll be harder to play because they will leak air, and they'll be poorly set up with the gapping and things like that. So make sure that you always start with a reasonable priced harmonica. Second one, keep it simple. Don't try and overstretch yourself at the beginning. Just go for the very easy things. Just concentrate on breathing in and out through the harmonica first of all. If you get a bunch of holes and breathe in and out, you're playing chords. So I mean, that's a good way to start, and then you can narrow down your embouchure or the gap that you leave in your mouth to play, to try and get individual holes. So the first thing you should do is just breathe in and out through the harmonica with a bunch of holes, just playing chords, and then you should narrow your embouchure and concentrate then on playing single notes, and get those things off pat before you start any other techniques like bending or blow bending or anything like that. So keep it simple first of all, until you're proficient in chords and single holes. Next thing I would say is to think about your breathing. The harmonica is a breath instrument, so ideally you want to breathe from your diaphragm and not shallow breathing from up this area. You want to breathe from down there. Just breathe in and out and feel your diaphragm, and when you're playing the harmonica you'll get a much better tone and you won't run out of air so quickly if you think about your breathing and breathe from your diaphragm. Next thing is to think about the sort of music that you want to play and immerse yourself in that. Listen to all sorts of records, recordings, streamings, whatever, YouTube, the sort of music you want to play on the harmonica, and people playing the harmonica on it. And pay particular attention to the timing and rhythm in music, because that is very important, timing and rhythm. You can have a series of notes, you can have a tablature or a musical score there, and if you don't get the timing and rhythm right, those notes won't sound like anything. So immerse yourself in the type of music, listen to people playing, because that will go in and it will stick there, and it will give you some basis for learning in the way you want to learn. Also, it's what sort of embouchure you want to use. I would say the next thing is whether to decide to start on lip pursing, which is just making a small hole in the middle of your lips and blowing through that, or whether tongue blocking, which is putting your tongue at the side and playing out the corner of your mouth, or a combination of the two. So a lot of people start on lip pursing and then decide that they want a fuller sound and go on to tongue blocking. Some people start tongue blocking straight away. So that's entirely your preference. So have a little play around and see what type of embouchure is for you. Next thing is I would say, always try and keep your harmonica with you. It's a very portable instrument. It's quite small, you can keep it in your pocket and you can get it out to play at odd times when you've got a moment. So the harmonica, like anything else, the more you play it, the better you'll become, and the more intuitive and natural it will be to you. So I would say try and keep it with your all times, and try and play for at least sort of half an hour every day. Doesn't have to be in one block, but in bits and pieces. Just be regular with it. Try and play it every day, because if it becomes part of your routine, then it becomes easier. The more you play, the easier it will be. Finally, I would say you do need lessons to advance your playing. You can watch as many YouTube videos, well, my YouTube videos, or anyone's YouTube videos, Liam Ward, Tomlin Leckie, Constantine Reinfeldt, as Will Wild, loads and loads of people out there putting videos out, but and that's a good thing, because you can learn a lot from those. But really you need one-to-one feedback on certain things to really bring your playing on. So I would say try and seek out a local harmonica teacher that you can go to, or they can come to you, so they can actually see what you're doing and you can get immediate feedback. Or if you can't do that, Skype or something like that, Skype or Zoom lessons one-to-one. That is very important. I mean, I got a certain way with the harmonica, and after a short time of picking it up, I was getting frustrated, so I had some Skype lessons with Tomlin Leckie, and he was brilliant. He really helped me with bending, a lot of things like that. And then I had some in-face personal one-to-one lessons with a local harmonica teacher, Paul Gillings, who's a tremendous harmonica player, and when I was trying to learn tongue blocking, he helped me immensely just by me being in the same room as him, and he could see what I was doing, and he could put me right straight away to save me going on and making more mistakes and sort of learning your mistakes. You don't want to learn mistakes, you want to learn the right way to play. So it's very important. By all means, YouTube's videos are great, but at some point earlier rather than later, you ought to have one-to-one lessons either in person or on Skype or Zoom. So all those things, if you do all those things, then that's going to help you be the player that you want to be.